Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. It's finally getting close, and Al Horford will sign with the Golden State Warriors, and the two sides apparently already have an agreement in place. Al Horford plans to sign a 2-year contract with Golden State, which includes a player option for the second year. The deal is expected to be above the veteran's minimum. Former Boston Celtics center Al Horford is projected to sign the non-taxpayer MLE with the Golden State Warriors, according to ESPN. All signs indicate that longtime Boston Celtics center Al Horford has played his final game for the franchise. His 2-year contract extension with Boston expired on July 1, and the 39-year-old officially became a free agent. Since then, Horford has yet to sign elsewhere, but league insiders have connected him to the Golden State Warriors all summer long. Yet, there's been no movement out in the Bay. Golden State's contract negotiations with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga have stalled, leaving all remaining dominoes, including Horford, standing upright. ESPN's Shams Charania and Anthony Slater shared an update on Kuminga's stalemate with the Warriors on Monday, saying, "Both sides are waiting for the other to blink." As part of the report, the duo revealed that Golden State plans to offer Horford their taxpayer mid-level exception, worth just under $5.7 million, once they get Kuminga's dispute settled. They've lined up all their other roster targets to pursue after the Kuminga domino falls. The Warriors have planned to at least use their taxpayer mid-level. Al Horford is the target. Warriors are in a better position to compete than Celtics are. While many knew Horford's deal with the Celtics would expire in July, not many feared that he'd leave for greener pastures. He seemed happy to be in Boston playing for the Celtics. Of course, things can change quickly. Jason Tatum's Achilles tear shifted the outlook for Boston's 2025-26 season, and probably made Horford rethink his next contract. At 39 years old, it makes sense that Horford wouldn't want to spend what could be his final NBA season playing on a team without legitimate title hopes. By joining Stephen Curry and Jimmy Butler in San Francisco, the big man is primed for a run at a second NBA championship. Golden State was one of the league's best teams after acquiring Butler at the trade deadline last February. They logged a record of 23-8 to finish the season, before falling to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoffs. Even then, it was a series where they were without Curry, who was sidelined with a hamstring strain. If the reports of Horford's intentions are true, then the Warriors should be among the top teams in a loaded Western Conference. It may sting for Celtics fans to see him suit up for the Dubs, the team that prevented Boston from winning the 2022 NBA title, and alongside Butler, who went to battle with the CS countless times in the playoffs. But, the Warriors could be a fun team for them to root for with Horford, especially considering the strange position Boston is in this season. Aaron Turner explains Jonathan Kuminga's financial sacrifice tied to Al Horford's signing and championship pursuit. Turner disclosed that Kuminga was prepared to accept less than his desired $30 million annual salary to help the Warriors become contenders. The sacrifice directly related to Al Horford's signing, which both sides believed would elevate Golden State's championship chances. How are they going to get the team better and bring you back? We knew about the Al Horford deal. To JK's credit, he said, "Look, I'll sacrifice for that. Give Al the taxpayer mid-level. He comes in, it helps," Turner explained. Kuminga supported the roster construction strategy but wanted contractual protection on the back end given his financial concessions up front. He was all on board with that. But because we were going to take a number on the front that we thought was on a lower level, compared to Jalen Johnson, Jalen Green, some of these other guys, to help the team win in this window, then let us have the player option in the back end, Turner continued. Agent defends Jonathan Kuminga's character while explaining championship window urgency. Turner addressed criticisms about Kuminga's motivations, arguing his client genuinely wants to contribute to Stephen Curry's final championship window. The player option request stems from team-first thinking rather than selfish interests. JK has heard of these conversations. He knows what's out there, the deals, the guaranteed money, the opportunity. With JK, it's not that he wouldn't stay in Golden State, but if he wants to stay, he has the ability to stay. Nothing is forcing him back to the table, Turner stated. So when you factor all of that in, the thought is, okay, if we're coming back here, it's win now. This is Steph's last window to win. Help us out on the back end of the deal. Because we're going to be sacrificing, Turner said. That's why the player option has been so pushed by us. I give credit to JK, there's a lot said about him, that he only cares about himself. Couldn't be farther from the truth. He's not a guy that doesn't want to win. He wants to be part of that. Turner praised Kuminga's growth throughout the negotiation process, highlighting his client's learning curve about NBA business dynamics. When we started these negotiations, I came to him. I've been educating him through this process. And he's learned a lot through this process, Turner concluded. The Warriors and Kuminga also will face an October 1st deadline to reach agreement on a qualifying offer. If at the end Kuminga stays, he would be an important role player for one of the championship contenders in the Western Conference. Golden State Warriors' Jimmy Butler has checked in with front office over team's plan. It's been a tough summer for the Golden State Warriors as all their plans have been put on hold. The front office has been focused on resolving Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency, which has led to a delay in rounding out the current roster, which at present only has 9 players under contract. According to NBC Sports Bay Area's Dalton Johnson, the delay in adding new talent has led Jimmy Butler to check in with the Warriors front office, as he sought an update on the team's plans heading into the new season. Butler, after all, joined the Warriors to compete for a championship and focus on basketball. When is basketball going to take over? Johnson said. That has to be the thoughts of, in my eyes, the 3 veteran stars, Steph Curry, Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler. In that ESPN article, they mentioned that Draymond, Green, and Jimmy have checked in and reached out to Jonathan Kuminga. I can confidently say that Jimmy Butler has also reached out to the team and been like, what's going on here? I just wanted to know the plan. NBA training camps open on September 29th. Golden State will need to have resolved the current lack of contracted players by then, ensuring that Steve Kerr has a full team to begin his preparations with. Ideally, the Kuminga situation would also have reached a resolution. The Warriors will head into the new season with the aim of competing for a championship. Therefore, they will want to put this summer behind them and ensure everyone is pushing forward as a unit. The only way to do that is to resolve Kuminga's situation within the next 10 days, as training camp is where you start to set the tone for the season ahead. Steph Curry leads Warriors' urgent plea for decisive move on Jonathan Kuminga's future. Steph Curry rallies Warriors for clarity on Jonathan Kuminga's future. The Golden State Warriors find themselves at a critical juncture, with star guard Steph Curry leading the charge for a decisive decision regarding the future of Jonathan Kuminga. As the offseason unfolds, the urgency surrounding Kuminga's role within the team has intensified, with Curry and fellow Warriors expressing their desire for clarity. The Kuminga conundrum. Kuminga, a young talent with immense potential, has shown flashes of brilliance since being drafted. However, his development has been somewhat marred by inconsistent playing time and unclear expectations within head coach Steve Kerr's system. As a result, Curry and his teammates are pushing for the organization to solidify Kuminga's role moving forward, recognizing the importance of nurturing this promising talent. With the offseason in full swing, the Warriors face a pivotal decision that could shape their roster for years to come. The discussions surrounding Kuminga's future reflect both the team's aspirations and the need to optimize their lineup as Curry's leadership in focus. Curry's advocacy for Kuminga is not just about basketball, it highlights the leadership dynamics within the Warriors. The 2-time MVP has always been a vocal supporter of his teammates, and his call for a clear path for Kuminga underscores the trust and camaraderie that defines Golden State's locker room culture. The urgency of the situation suggests that Curry is keenly aware of the delicate balance between nurturing young talent and maintaining championship aspirations. As the Warriors navigate the complexities of the offseason, the decision on Kuminga's future looms large. Will the team commit to developing him further, or is a different direction on the horizon? The upcoming weeks will be crucial, as the franchise seeks to align its vision with the expectations of its star players. In the ever-evolving landscape of the NBA, the Warriors must tread carefully. The future of Jonathan Kuminga could very well play a significant role in their quest for another championship, and with Curry at the helm advocating for action, fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see what unfolds. Jonathan Kuminga could leave Warriors in nightmare scenario if his bluff proves real. The qualifying offer is apparently still on the table. As the Golden State Warriors approach training camp, their lack of a resolution to Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency and, by extension, their lack of activity on the free agent market remain highly concerning. Now, Kuminga's agent, Aaron Turner, has publicly said on the Hoop Collective podcast that the qualifying offer is still an option that is on the table if the Warriors' offer does not improve, which would result in Golden State losing Kuminga next offseason in unrestricted free agency. While this is a threat that Kuminga has maintained all offseason, one that has seemed to this point largely like a bluff, the fact that Kuminga's agent is willing to threaten it this late in negotiations is seriously troubling, and, now, the Warriors may have their hands completely tied. Jonathan Kuminga taking the qualifying offer at this stage would leave the Warriors in the dust. Throughout the offseason, Golden State's front office and Kuminga's representation have largely been held at an impasse over one key disagreement: who will carry the leverage heading into his next deal. "There's a lot of upside," said Turner. "He wants to pick where he wants to go. So the QO is real for sure." For trade purposes, the Warriors have held firm to their demand for a team option to be included in the deal, while Kuminga and Turner have vehemently pushed back against that, seeking for either no option or a player option to be included. Now, as the Warriors have upped their offer to 3 years and $75 million, the sticking point still remains the team option after the second year. Therefore, in order to gain the leverage they wish to have, it appears as though Golden State is going to somehow need to provide Kuminga with an annual value exceeding $25 million. This would leave them potentially over the first apron before even being able to bring in any more free agents this offseason. At the same time, they could grant him the player option he seeks, severely lessening his trade value and ultimately, perhaps, losing him in free agency if they are unable to negotiate a suitable trade once he returns to the team. While Turner's threat to take the qualifying offer could still be just a bluff to push the front office into action, his doing so would be disastrous for the team. Not only would Kuminga become virtually untradeable, but they would have wasted the entire offseason negotiating only to be left with 6 empty roster spots and training camp rapidly approaching. Therefore, while it remains to be seen whether a resolution will be found before his qualifying offer expires on October 1, any threat that there might not be one should be taken exceedingly seriously.